breaking underneath, trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain, game of survival. Any time or place, watch 'em run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my throne. I got no rival. Watch 'em run away. I got no, I got no rival.
How are we all doing? Welcome back to Turf Moorhouse TV. It's your man Dan, as per usual, and thank you very much for tuning in. So there has been many links, and it is silly season. We all know that. So the rumour mill is spinning. It is well and truly spinning. Obviously, it's looking like we're about to lose Nick Pope, which, from a Burnley perspective as a fan, is huge. I know Kate's not that happy about it, being her favourite player. But yeah, it's going to be tough. He's done really well for the club. A player that signed alongside Johan Berg Gudmundsson from Charlton for a combined fee of, I think, was 2.5 million. So I can't really grumble. He's been an absolute legend, and I just hope Newcastle do look after him once that deal is confirmed. However, I'm fed up of all these rumours of players going out. Let's talk about some players that could be potentially coming in. If you are new around here, please do subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified when we go live. But here's where you can check us out on social media. So yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, the lot. You can find us on it all. As I say, all you've got to do is search Turf Moorhouse, as it says at the bottom there, and you can find us on all those platforms. We are on podcast platforms as well, and we are going to be getting the podcast platform up and running again when the season starts. So look out for that. We are available on that on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast. So do check us out. Let's have a look at what some of you guys have been saying in the chat. And we've got Chris P in, who says, up the Clarets. That's what we need. Up the Clarets, definitely, 100%. And fingers crossed we will be we'll be all right this season. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. Chris Welch, good morning to yourself, mate. Hope you are well. Yeah, 2 videos in the morning. Obviously, tomorrow we'll be going live for the fixtures. I will be live at 8:45, wet the bed time. I will be live at 8:45 in the morning, where I will be taking us through the derby games, the final day of the season, the first game of the season. Who do we play Boxing Day and New Year? Obviously, we're not in the cup games until the second round, which isn't till the week of the 24th to 25th of August. So obviously, we'll find out when nearer to the time regarding that. However, do obviously join us tomorrow morning, 8:45, as I say. Chris says as well in there, Pope was one of the best keepers in the Premier League, in my opinion. Not just from an England perspective. I think it was thanks to Nick Pope that we were, we took it to the final day, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for him and some of the vital saves that he made, we wouldn't have got where we were. So yeah, he's going to be a sad loss, a very sad loss. But let's have a look at some of the names that are being mentioned. Well, Chris says there, yeah, EFL fixtures for you now. Not been like that for you for a while. Over 6 years. 6 years of it. I was still in my young 20s. last time we were in the Championship. So yeah, it's a strange time. But I'm glad people are watching. As I say, we are live right now on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live on Twitch, I believe, as well. So do check us out on our Twitch channel. Chris says as well there, do you think we should look at using one of our other keepers to replace Pope or bring in someone new? I think we'll still bring in somebody new. I think we'll still bring somebody new in. Whether they'll be a first choice or potentially second choice, I'm not sure. I think this is probably the season for Wayne Hennessy. After leaving Palace, this could be where he gets his final chance of a solid season of football. So we could just stick with Hennessy. Will Norris, obviously, has been talk of him going to Luton, but we don't know what's happening on that front. So we may obviously need 2 new keepers at the moment, unless Lucas Jensen steps up. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. There's going to be quite a few names linked, and I know we do have one keeper that has been linked. There was a second one, but I haven't managed to get the edit sorted. But I will mention it at the time as well. But yeah, let's have a look at what Chris Welch says. You still have my support for this channel despite you being relegated. I sub to any channel. Cheers, Chris. Much appreciated. Chris is a Carlisle United fan, but also a Liverpool fan. Is it? So yeah, please do check out Chris Welch's channel as well. Does a lot of sports content. So go check him out. Right. Let's get into it then. Let's have a look at some of these. Charlie's in as well. Everybody whose name begins with C's in the chat today. Charlie, a Manchester City fan. And I'm sure Burnley will be sort of your number 2 team now that Kompany is manager. So it's going to be nice to have the Manchester City fan support as well this season. Let's get into some of it then. Let's do this. So this is the rumour mill. And as I said, none of these are concrete. This is all what people have been saying. Journos have been spouting their mouth off about. They're just names at the end of the day. Don't quote me on them. Don't quote me on them. They are just links. So let's get into the first one. And as you can tell, obviously, with Kompany's arrival, there's going to be a couple of players who obviously are linked from Anderlecht. Let's remove that. And obviously, the first one we have is AMIR Murillo. He is a 26-year-old professional who plays professional right back. Obviously, he plays for Anderlecht. And to be fair, I think Kompany rates him. At 26, he's still got a bit of age with him as well, so he's still got room for improvement. Could easily adapt to the Championship. Who knows? Who knows? For me, I don't think we need another right back unless we do look set to lose either Connor Roberts or Matthew Lawton. But I don't think we'll lose Lawton. If we are going to lose any of the two, it'll be Connor Roberts to probably another Premier League side. Next up as well, we do have another Anderlecht link, and that is Majid Ashimeru. Now, he is a central midfielder. Again, plays for Anderlecht. He's only 24, though, is Ashimeru. And I think what I read was that he's only had around 10 appearances last season due to injuries, etc. But he's got, I think, 4 goals to his name. As I say, don't quote me on it. I think that's what I read somewhere about this guy. But he looks like a decent player. 24 as well, very young. There is a lot of 22-year-olds in this. I will tell you that. A lot of them are 22-year-old. But Majid Ashimeru, another player who is linked with Burnley Football Club. Ghanaian international as well. Well, not Ghanaian. He potentially could be in the Ghanaian international team, but he is a Ghanaian professional footballer, and he is a midfielder, which is somewhere we could do with a bit of firepower in, especially with Ashley Westwood's injury. Couple comments. Chris says, going to be interesting season. Kompany appointment could go either way. 100% agree. Claret Zone, hi, how are you? Hope you are well. Alfie as well is in the chat. Hope you are well, Alfie. Don't know where your comment went. UTC, that's what we want, exactly. And Claret Zone says exactly the same. Chris Welch says, "Are Burnley on the way to AMIR Murillo?" To be fair, as soon as I saw the link, that's the first thing I thought of. that's going to be a headline. There's going to be some newspaper if we sign him that's going to come out. So I'd copyright that while you can, mate, while you can, and then let the papers pay you out for it. But yeah, Majid Ashimeru is another Anderlecht link. Now, moving on, I mean, still staying in the Belgian First Division, we have, I know it says there Moussa Sissoko, but it isn't actually Moussa Sissoko. It's Moussa Sissoko. So it's an A, not an O between the S and the K. So Moussa Sissoko is a 21-year-old. He's only 21, so he's very young. He is a defender who plays for Standard Liège. He was born in France, but he plays for the Mali national team. As I say, a defender, somewhere we are going to have to buy in abundance, especially with all the links around Nathan Collins. The club have come out and said they want to try their best to keep hold of Nathan Collins because he is a valuable asset, which we all know. Yeah, you know, last season we saw how much of a pivotal man he can be for us, and again, still a very young player. But Moussa Sissoko is also another player linked from the Belgium First Division. Alfie says, hope you are all well, mate. I'm all good. I'll be happy once we start getting some players through the door, once the kits are announced, once, you know, we've got some friendlies on board. It's just that patient waiting game. And as I say, hopefully news will filter out the club soon. Great news as well for people that are just joining us, that Dara Costello, one of our young players, has also signed a new contract. He didn't really say on the article how long he'd signed for, but he has extended his deal. Same with Ashley Barnes. Ashley Barnes has extended his contract, as has Jack Cork. So there has been a few. We're still waiting for news on Masej Vidra and seeing what he does. Apparently there's a 2-year contract on the table for Vids. Whether he accepts it, we'll see. We'll see what happens. The missus is in. She says, shame they couldn't say the same about keeping Pope. I told you she's gutted, guys. Told you she's devastated. So we will see. Alfie says, busy summer ahead. We need to not be how we were with Dash. We need to hurry up. 100%. 100%. This, all the blame for lack of transfer activity has to go to the feet of Mark Garlick for me. For me personally, it falls at the feet of Mark Garlick. Pocketing a lot of that and not putting enough of it on the pitch. And it started, as I say, about 3 or 4 years ago. So hopefully Alan Pace has told Kompany, run wild, run free. We need some players in, get the job done. So we'll see what happens. Busy summer ahead indeed, Alfie. Next one on the list is Rafael Camacho. Camacho, however you want to say it. Sounds Mexican. But he's not. He's a Portuguese player. He plays predominantly as a winger. Spent last season on loan at Belenenses, but does play contracted predominantly to Sporting CP. Now, for people who don't know Sporting CP, that's the club where Cristiano Ronaldo started his career. Now, I'm not saying that Camacho is going to be of that caliber, of course not. But he also has ties to the English game. Camacho spent time in the Liverpool youth system and also the Manchester City academy. So he does have a good caliber behind him. He's only 22. Apparently he's another player that's had a few injuries, but you know, let's hope that those times are behind him. He will be able to still be nurtured. But yeah, a cracking addition on the wing. And we don't know what's happening with McNeil or Cornet yet. So it's all up in the air in terms of that. But yeah, Rafael Camacho, the Portuguese winger, ties to Liverpool and Manchester City's academy. Again, probably another Kompany link, but did pretty well last season on loan at Belenenses. Brad is in the chat. He says, do you want Perez? You know what? I'd take Perez. I think Jose Perez would be decent in the Championship, to be fair. I think he'd be decent. And I know how much you and Mr. Forian want rid of Perez out of Leicester. So you'd offer him to the local shop down the road if you could, for a packet of sweets. I know how much you rate him. Not so highly indeed. Next one on the list then, Joel LATIBEAUDIERE. Now, LATIBEAUDIERE is obviously another young player. Came again. The links, as I said, links galore. Did play for Manchester City's youth academy, so that's probably why all the links are coming about. But he is, again, only 22 years old. Another defender, currently plies his trade at Swansea City. He was born in England, but he does play for the Jamaican national team. His last name sounds French, though. It's weird. Born in England, last name sounds French, plays for the Jamaican national team. Footballers for you. But another one that was a prodigy of the Manchester City Youth Academy, and probably that's why we do have ties to him. Swansea fans, I spoke to a Swansea fan yesterday called Reese. He said if they get 500k for him, then they understand if he wants to move to Burnley. But they've said good things about him. They've just said that it's his injuries that is worrying, and that worries us as fans, because you don't want a defender that's going to be out for half a season. I mean, 500k, not much of a risk. It's pocket money in football these days. Not even that. It's a love. A packet of chewing gum, really. So 500k wouldn't be a bad addition, in my opinion. And he's already plied his trade in the Championship for Swansea City. So apparently that is according to some of the journalists, this one is one to watch and could potentially happen very soon. Niall's in as well. He says, "Morning, Daniel. Morning to yourself, Niall. I keep checking when people say morning. I look at the clock instantly as though like, is it? But it still is. And as Brad says there, yes, they want rid of Perez. Now, so I saw you on John's show last night, and also Luca and Reese, the Swansea fan. Yes, you did. Now you did indeed. So yeah, Joel LATIBEAUDIERE is also another player linked. Next up, Luke McCanally. Now, you might think of when you think of McCanally, you might think of Alan McCanally, who obviously, for some reason, growing up, I always thought, is that Glenn Little's dad? But he is another 22-year-old. As I said, there'll be a few of them. He is a 22-year-old Irish defender. He's only spent one season at Oxford United, and he's had a storming season, apparently, according to the Oxford United fans. We reportedly offered, I think, 1.5 million is what's come out, what's been spoken about anyway. We've reportedly offered 1.5. I'm not sure whether we upped it to 1.75. And I think Oxford still turned it away. So I think we've cooled our interest in this one. Don't quote me on it. You never know. One person says one thing, another says another. Look at the Nick Pope thing. 8 million on one, 30 million on another, 15 somewhere else. And we all see what happens. Signs for an undisclosed fee. So yeah, Luke McCanally, another one to watch. Young defender, could potentially come in, and we'll see what happens on that front. Next up is a signing I am very, very interested in. Jed Wallace. Now, I wanted us to sign this guy probably about 3 or 4 years back, and I just think he's brilliant. He's 28 years of age, so he's at sort of a peak of his career. He's, again, a winger, but can be played in the centre of the park, and he recently did play for Millwall, but as you can see there in the centre of your screen, he is now a free agent. So he's a no-risk signing anyway. But I think he will definitely shore up the midfield, and he's got that ability at getting forward. So Jed Wallace is a player I would love to have. 28-year-old or 22-year-old, I couldn't care less how old he was. But Jed Wallace is another player I would love at the club. And I'm surprised he didn't stay at Millwall. I don't know whether they offered him a new deal, but he just wanted a new challenge. You know, the old football cliche, new challenge. We'll see. But Jed Wallace, fingers crossed, another rumour that could be concrete, and will hopefully sign for the club. Now, the next, let's just have a look. Clarett Zone says there are news about some goalkeepers to replace Nick Pope. There is, as I say, I think they're towards the end of this, so not long to go anyway. But there is 1 or 2 that I've seen mentioned. One that I haven't managed to edit up, but I will mention it as well. Now says, thoughts on Nick Pope heading to the Toon? Have you got a ready-made replacement goalkeeper? Wayne Hennessy will be good enough to start for me. I think he'll do the biz. Or Bailey Peacock Farrell, who's obviously come back from his loan at Sheffield Wednesday last season. So we've got two keepers there. Will Norris as well is in the fray, but I don't think he'll be getting any first-team football anytime soon. But yeah, I just hope they look after him. I just hope that Newcastle look after him, mate. So yeah, as I said, Jed Wallace is the next one on the list. After that, now this man is in so high demand. Scott Twine, the MK Dons midfielder, attacker, central attacking midfield, winger, as he's been deployed mostly for MK Dons this season. And he's, again, another player like Luke McAnally, who's only had one season at Oxford. Scott Twine has only had one full season at MK Dons, and it's such an impressive season as well. He scored 20 goals and made 13 assists last season alone. Again, another 22-year-old. I'd be very happy with this. Apparently, we've already put in a bid. We apparently offered 4 million. Not sure whether that. I think that got rejected. I think we're planning to up it to 5. People are saying that he's already been at the training ground for talks. People are saying that he's, spoken to Vincent Kompany. As I said, it's silly season. We all know what's going on. Well, nobody knows what's going on until he's there holding the shirt or scarf above the head. But Scott Twine is one that I expect probably to see in Claret and Blue by the end of the window. There's us and Hull, I think, looking at it. And yeah, Scott Twine will definitely, for me personally, I think will be a Burnley player by the time the transfer window is out. Let's look at some of your comments. Chris says we can let Pope go and not worry about replacement. Fair shout. Now says, don't tell Luca he's an MK Dons fan. I'm sure he'll be fine. Twine is decent at direct free kicks, apparently. Well, there you go. Another element to his game that'd be decent to see at Turf Moor as well. Now says, well done to Luca for getting Lee Judges on today and Friday, the guy from Sky Sports News. Yeah, good luck to Luca with that. Cheers now. CHB Muhud. I'm going to get this, hopefully getting this right. Muhudin. But he says, big up, bro. Big up to yourself, mate. And please don't shoot me for saying CHB. If I just say CHB in the chat, hopefully that's all right. I just don't want to mispronounce your name, so I am sorry. But big up to yourself. Hope you're well. As I say, Scott Twine, fingers crossed, a Burnley player by the end of the transfer window. Yeah, Muhudin, he says. There we go. I will take that. The next one, interesting. Not really heard a lot about this. And I'm sure Niall will be probably in the chat in a minute saying another one that Luca probably won't be happy about. But Albert Sambi Lokonga. And now this one is only rumoured for a loan move. He's only rumoured for a loan move for the season. Albert Maboyo Sambi Lokonga, again, 22-year-old Belgian footballer, again, a midfielder. He came through Anderlecht's Youth Academy, which probably says it all. Came through the academy at Anderlecht. Who was the manager of Anderlecht? Vincent Kompany, obviously. So another one. He made his senior debut with Anderlecht in 2017. But yeah, we are linked with Sambi Lokonga on loan for the season, although I think his agent and him have said that he'd rather stay at Arsenal, which is strange because he's not really going to get much game time. So if he's happy as a 19-year-old, as a 22-year-old to sit there and watch his career just wallow away when he gets no game time, be my guest. CHB says, Mahudin says, I'm an Arsenal fan. I can tell you about Lokonga. He's a good player, but in the Premier League, he struggled. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Championship would be decent for him because it'll rough him up. He'll get those kicks and knocks. He'll get used to the physicality of the English game. It'd be a good move for him. Whether it comes off, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Aiden's in the chat as well. Hope you're well, Aiden. Thoughts on McNeil being linked to West Ham? Again, another strange link. They've got, obviously, Saeed Benrahma. Unless you want to do a swap deal for Saeed Benrahma, I'll take him, because I think West Ham fans don't really rate Benny, as they like to call him. But yeah, Saeed Benrahma's not really appreciated that much at West Ham. So I'd take a swap deal. But however, I wouldn't want to lose McNeil. I think under Kompany we could see a different animal. So we'll see with that one. See what happens. And as Aidan says, you can have Benny. I'll take that. There we go. There we go. See, I'm doing God's work for us, people. I'm doing God's work for us. McNeil's going to West Ham. We've got Saeed Benrahma. Chris says Alan Nixon has said that Kompany is to bring in Josh Cullen and Majid Ashimeru, both from Anderlecht. See, we mentioned Josh Cullen on the last rumour mill, which is the only reason why he's not been mentioned in this one. But yeah, I'd take Josh Cullen. I really would. And again, another player that had ties to West Ham. Sambi Lokonga, as I say, was a player linked with Burnley on loan. Next on the list, Scottish centre-back Jack Hendry. Now, obviously, he's 27 years of age. There, he looks about 19. Probably looks about 18, 19 in the picture. But he is 27 years old. And again, a centre-back. Another one who plays in the Belgian First Division. I think we're going to be linked with every player that plays in the Belgian First Division. But he plays for Club Bruges and also for the Scottish national team. This is one I only read about probably yesterday. Whether there's any truth to it, I'm not sure. But he's a player that's linked, so it was worth putting it in. It was worth putting it in. That's why it's called the rumour mill. Jack Hendry, as I said, Scottish. We're still keeping it really then with the British theme. Not that, we are hoping to break the mould, but we'll see. We'll see. Jack Hendry, another player linked from Club Bruges of the Belgium Pro League. We do need defenders. Next up, though, and the one keeper I've got, this is the last rumour I have for you guys. And as soon as it was announced pretty much that Nick Pope was linked with a move to Newcastle, we were linked with 22-year-old Mark Cooper. Obviously, he plies his trade at Plymouth, born in Exeter, so he's a local southern lad. He's decent as well. Again, young, only 22. Whether he can make that step up to the Championship is yet to be seen. Another keeper that was mentioned as well, which hasn't, obviously, as I said to you, there is a keeper that I was going to mention, was Seni Dieng, I think, the keeper at QPR. I think he was the keeper at QPR. He's been linked with a move to us as well since Nick Pope's soon-to-be departure. But yeah, this was the one that I saw mentioned pretty much as soon as Nick Pope was linked with walking out the door. We are going to be linked with a couple of keepers. Of course, we are. Losing a keeper like Nick Pope is massive. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, Mark Cooper is the one that is being spoke about. Chris P says Josh Cullen was an important part of Kompany's system at Anderlecht. Also has experience in the Championship. No brainer for me. 100%. 100%. I'd like to sign him as well. He's Irish as well, isn't he, Josh Cullen? I think he's Irish as well. The thing is, I'm glad that we're being linked with a lot of these foreign players, because I don't want this tag of us anymore of Brexit FC, Brexit ball, anti-football. We don't need that. We don't need that anymore. What we need is somebody to come in. We've already brought them all with our manager. He's the first foreign manager Burnley Football Club have ever had. We've always had British managers. So let's see who we can get. It's all a waiting game. I'd love to sign Rabbi Matondo. I know he's Welsh, but he's been playing at Schalke, has pace and is technical too. I think will be a great fit on the wing. Didn't he have a spell in English football as well? Didn't he not have a play for Stoke or something? Or am I mistaken? I'm not sure. The name rings a bell, Chris. I'm not entirely certain. Coach's Corner, hi, how are you doing? Hope you are well. Thank you for tuning in. As I say, guys, any of you in here that hasn't subscribed to the channel, please do. It really does help the channel grow. We are going to be doing predominantly Burnley stuff, but we are also just a football channel. So we will be doing football content. We will be doing stuff regarding predictions on the championship games. You name it, we'll be doing it. So please do support us by hitting that subscribe button, whether it's in the bottom corner of your screen. Just hit that red button that says subscribe. It costs you nothing. So thank you very, very much. Hit a like on the video as well if you're enjoying this. Comments coming in as well from Aidan saying, you should get Darren Randolph. Nah, I don't know. I don't know. He's been around a bit, Darren Randolph, clubs wise, hasn't he? And I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Chris says there. Yeah, with Stoke. Yeah, I thought it was. Now says any SPL players. Daniel Lewis Ferguson, who scored against Burnley in Europa. I remember us speaking about that. To be fair, when he was there was him and there was somebody else as well at Aberdeen that we thought, oh, he'd be decent to come to Burnley, but nothing ever came of it. And it's not a channel, Daniel said, that you won't find him on. Yeah, I'm around. I like to be on other people's channels. I like to put content out on my own channel. It's a bit of a slow process. You know, when the season's off, there's not much to talk about, not much news coming out of the club. It's a bit difficult. Chris also says, how about Tom Heaton return? You know what? I'd take it. I would take it. Bringing back a club legend, I don't think you could sort of go wrong with it. So I would take him back. Whether he'd come back permanently, I don't know. Whether he'd come here on loan, you never know. But I know Kompany said that he'd rather have players that he can nurture for Burnley Football Club, not players that he can nurture for other teams. Although with Tom Heaton, it's sort of don't really need to nurture him. I mean, he is what he is. Aidan says, take Connor Coventry on loan. He's a beast. Is he another defender? Is he a defender or like a defensive mid? But I do know who you mean. He is decent. Now says, can't see it, mate, as Henderson is heading to Forest. Yeah, Dean Henderson is going to Forest. So if Tom Heaton does come, who knows? But I think Tom Heaton will be used as backup at United if Dean Henderson is off. Coventry is a centre midfielder, right? Fair play. Now says, thoughts on Arsenal both being linked with Fabian Diaz from Napoli. Couldn't care less. To be honest. It's Arsenal and Newcastle. I mean, I'm here to obviously talk about the Burnley rumours. But as you can see, there were a couple of rumours there linked. So let's just have a quick run through of them again. First up, we had Michael AMIR MURILLO. Then we had Majid Ashimeru, Moussa Sissoko, Rafael Camacho from Sporting CP, Joel Latibaudiere from Swansea, another young player that could be nurtured, Luke McAnally, which from what I'm hearing, our interest has cooled a little bit. Jed Wallace, a player I would love to see in Claret and Blue. Fingers crossed we can get this deal over the line. Whether we do is yet to be seen. Scott Twine, I expect to be a Burnley player by the end of this window. We heavily want Scott Twine. So, yeah, fingers crossed this one gets done ASAP and does not drag its arse. Albert Sambi Lokonga, probably out of all the rumours, this one's probably the one that wouldn't happen because of, as I say, if he wants to stay and rot at Arsenal, be my guest. It's only a loan move as well linked for him. 27-year-old Jack Henry, Scottish centre-back at Club Brugge. And then we have Plymouth Argyle goalkeeper, Exeter born Mark Cooper. So there are the part 2 of the rumour mill. I'm sure we will have a part 3 at some point, but that is your rumour mill for today. You can catch me later on tonight. I will be on Leicester Till I Die TV. I'm doing a quiz called Home and Away. So if I pick a home question, it's about Burnley Football Club, but I only get 1 point. If I pick away, it'll be a question about Leicester because I'm against another Leicester fan. And obviously, if I get that right, I think it's more points, but then it also sends him that he has to go away from home with a question. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. But that's at 9 o'clock over on Leicester Till I Die TV. Guys, thank you very, very, very much for watching. Let's take a look at some of your comments. Chris says, Middlesbrough looking at Heaton on loan, so it's not dead in the water. I mean, Ten Hag may have said, right, you, out. So it could just be that we could get him back. We could get him back. You never know. Watch this space. Pardon me. Now says Freddie Krueger signs for Preston, done deal. Obviously means Freddie Woodman. Yeah, Freddie Woodman signed for Preston on a 3-year deal from Newcastle. As I say, undisclosed fee. We all know about them, don't we? Nippon's in. Hope you're well, Nippon. Hope you got that rating you wanted on Twitter, the dirty dog. It says, hi, big up. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you are well. And Chris says, do we give any academy players a chance in the first team? No, I would. I wouldn't mind us seeing a bit of Max Thompson, Lewis Richardson, as you said, Dara Costello, who's just signed a new contract. The thing is, they're all sort of like forward players. They're all forward players, and whether they will, I'm not saying that they'll all get game time because they won't, but it's, you know, we all know what Alan Pace's vision is. He wants to bring youth into the club, and I think Vincent Kompany wants that as well. We saw it at Anderlecht. He had a very, very, very youthful squad, but they combined well. It gelled and it worked. And I think that's what we've got to do to sort of get this club back on this building ladder. You've got to obviously, you know, buy young, sell high sort of thing. Football is a business at the end of the day. It's a business, and we've got to obviously take it as it is. Mark Helm, Owen Dodgson, Bobby Thomas. Dependent on injuries and who we bring in, because obviously we've not got covers in all areas, because we're not covered in all areas. Some of these players may step up to the plate. You know, Kompany may give them a chance, and it may be their way into football. I always thought that we'd have give Ali Koike and Jimmy Dunn. I think Jimmy Dunn would have been perfect. If we could have brought Jimmy Dunn back, I think he's done solid work at QPR. But I guess it just wasn't meant to be, and he wanted first team football sooner than we could give him. I think Kompany could help improve our academy, not just the senior team. Yeah, 100%. That's what he's been brought in for. That belief. That belief. I am very thirsty today. It's a warm day outside. I don't even know why I'm wearing this. I'm getting changed after this. But guys, thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you everybody for all your support this season coming as well. Please do stick with us. We are going to have match previews with other fans from other championship clubs. We are going to have a regular show predicting the Saturday games of the championship. We will be doing other fun content. We will be getting quizzes out, banter shows, news on arrivals, etc. Keep your eye on our socials. As I say, all you got to do is follow us on there. So without further ado, let's have a look at them socials again. So you can, as we have said, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. We are on there. Search Turf Moorhouse, as it says, right down below, right down there. All you've got to do is search that and you will find us on all those platforms. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please keep supporting the channel. 8:45 a.m. tomorrow, we will be live 15 minutes before the fixtures are announced. And we will be announcing to you the Burnley fixtures, the first game of the season, our last game of the season, New Year, Boxing Day, Derby days when we take on those dirty inbreds down the road. So let's just have a good season. Let's look forward to what's to come. Tomorrow, 8:45, catch us here on Turf Moorhouse TV, live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I will see you guys soon with another video. Take care, all the best, and don't do anything I wouldn't do.